In today's episode, road techs need to stop lying about ladders. Voltage fluctuation alerts. You've been pranked. I just fixed it, but my bad. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Road techs need to stop lying about ladders. As senior staff at my telco, when customers complain in writing, sometimes I'm one of many people consulted when management wants input before handling it. Other departments are sometimes consulted too, the big heavyweight being legal. I'm sitting there one morning with my coffee reading a scan of a customer's long-winded complaint about how our technician left without solving his problem because he didn't have a ladder long enough to get to the equipment that needed repairs. Customer goes on to write he had a ladder of the appropriate length, certified in all the various ways tall ladders are supposed to be for professional use, and that our technician refused to use it. The customer thought it was bad faith, and was angry at the delay, blah blah blah. At a glance I already understood. I don't know if they used to tell them this in basic training, but it seemed part of every road tech's DNA. Whenever a job had to be escalated to network teams because they couldn't do it, instead of saying sorry, this is beyond my expertise, I'll coordinate with technicians trained for this sort of issue, and they'll finish within 24 hours. They all said sorry, my ladder is too short to fix this problem. I'll send a guy with a longer ladder within 24 hours and they'll fix it. I realize every man has his ego, but there's nothing shameful or complicated in the fact no technician is trained to handle every issue. Not that the work contract would let them either, the job descriptions are strict. Still, amazingly enough, the ladder too short thing was like a mantra or a reflexive response. It's like someone hypnotized new hires and told them in trance that this was their go-to line. While network teams do have longer ladders, it has nothing to do with why a road tech can't do their jobs. So I decided I had heard too many stories about short ladders in my years at the telco. It's caused many useless calls to tech support, it's unprofessional, and now there's a written complaint. I decided it ought to stop. Could have just told the manager who sent me this job that we needed to discourage the practice, but I had enough experience to know that would achieve exactly nothing. A cheap tie at tech support won't change an odd quirk that has been going on for decades, even if he makes it his life crusade. I look again at the email he sent me with this scan asking for input. Oh. His email asking for input was also sent to legal. I'm not the guy who accidentally hits reply to all. When I do it, it's intentional, albeit plausibly deniable. So I reply to all saying we're at fault here, and are going to look bad, because it's woefully commonplace for road techs to make up stories about ladders. I throw in a few buzzwords about the image of the company, and how we should apologize and do some damage control. I make it sound like it's a little worse than it is. I get a return receipt from legal a minute after pressing send. And my work here was done. It took a while. They work slowly, and they hand their instructions to middle management only, who then slowly pass them down. But few things stand in the way of legal aside from the work contract. Couple months later, every road tech employee or contractor got a special class. Why you can't lie to customers, how to say a problem must be escalated because you can't handle it without making yourself look bad, that kind of thing. And some stern warnings about stories regarding ladders. I worried a second I might have gotten someone in trouble, but no, the complaint itself was a minor issue. Hundreds of guys and 2 ladies got an hour or 2 off with paid coffee and donuts. It didn't change everything overnight, but there are remarkably few lies about ladders now from what I can tell. All of Bytewave's tales on TFTS. Voltage fluctuation alerts. Just last week, as I was taking in-house support calls at my telco. Tom, hey, senior line. My boss asked me to call you. This is Tom with your contractor, sh*** road techs. Bytewave, hey Tom, yeah, this is Bytewave. Let's see, you're the second contractor we sent on service call at this address for this random set-top box reboots? Tom, yeah, exactly. Bytewave, so, how may I help you? Tom, Well, it's rebooting randomly and I don't see why. Deep analysis there, Tom. So I run my own diags. RF is fine. At first glance, it looks like the device just fails or loses power now and then. But the first guy replaced the box already, so the first option can be pretty much ruled out. Then, as I look at the logs of the old box, I see that while it usually just went dark, sometimes we had voltage fluctuation alerts logged. Sometimes the box stayed up, other times it rebooted immediately. This could mean a problem with the home's electric wiring. It's a very rural house. Just to see if it looks old, I pull up Street View, but Google never went there. Pretty remote. Bytewave, can you ask the customer if any other electronics in his house ever shut down randomly as well? Tom, he says no, only the TV. Sometimes it goes black a while, or it says no input signal. Bytewave, Tom, if our STB goes down, do you think the TV panel flips a coin to decide whether to go dark or to say no input? I really shouldn't ask trick questions like this. I confused the poor guy. Bytewave, never mind. If it's the STB that fails, it'll always show no input. If the TV goes dark, it's because the TV just lost power, not our box. Look at the outlet or the power bar. How many devices are plugged in there? Elimination process. It's pretty unlikely. I've seen power bars connected into power bars that still didn't cause voltage fluctuations, but just to be sure. Tom, the TV, the STB, a DVD player, and a lamp. A lamp? The whole thing would have made much more sense if there had not been a lamp. Bytewave, now look at the walls nearby. Is there a light switch close by? Tom, yep, got one here. Since we already eliminated the other options. Bytewave, okay Tom, by any chance, are you looking at a dimmer switch? One that looks pretty damn old by any chance? Tom, yeah. Bytewave, dim it just a wee little bit. Voltage fluctuation alert. STB still up. Tom, TV just went dark. The power bar is connected to this. An old dimmer with a variable resistor, you don't see that every day anymore. Modern ones work by rapidly shutting the light circuit off and on to reduce the amount of power flowing through the circuit, and turning one down usually instantly make electronics fail. Old ones were much less efficient as they simply sent the current through a variable resistor, which needed its own power and often ran hot. But in theory, if the dimmer is set high enough to let enough power go through, it's more likely that things that aren't lights will keep working despite a slight dimming, though who knows for how long. But how the hell did the customer miss that shutting down his lamp shut down his TV? Okay, 79 years old, I'll give him a pass. How the hell did two techs miss that? Bytewave, did the customer never notice that shutting down his lights made the... You know what, never mind. Anything else I can help you with, Tom? Sounding thrilled like he just figured it out. Tom, nah, I totally got this. Have a good day. 2 road techs before someone noticed this, and it wasn't even the guy in the room who figured it out. Unbelievable. All of Bytewave's tales on TFTS. You've been pranked. I just fixed it, but my bad. Though I'm known for the tales from my telco, I did post 2, 1 and 2, from my very first job many years ago where I was working as in-house IT at a corporation's very posh headquarters. I'll be posting a few more from my days as PFY. The name of the corporation is fictional. Bytewave, Newsprint HQ at Bytewave speaking. Finance Veep, my laptops aren't working. All 3. This garbage, I'm going into a meeting in 10, I'll be back in 2 hours, and I want brand new stuff when I'm back. Someone else will send in the written order. I never got the written order. But either way, as an IT person, 3 computers that fail at once is obviously something that I want to investigate. But as written previously in part 1 linked above, in that job I'm under clear instructions. Anything a VP or their secretary says must be ordered is to be ordered immediately, and without questions, though the written order is supposed to be necessary, but no union over there, so I did as I thought I was told and swiftly arranged for a brand new, latest model laptop to be delivered urgently. But come on, I still got to see. So I go to his office, secretary barely waves me and his IT people are invisible there, and I see all 3 laptops laying around. I take one and try to boot it up, only to see the pin that powers down the screen is stuck in. So I gently press it with the edge of a nail, and get some sticky goo on my little finger for my trouble. Then I realize it's glued in. I quickly look at the other 2. Pin glued in too. Someone's messing with the finance VP. So after fixing it, I tell the secretary and ask if she knows who could have done this, and she shrugs me off. Being still new, I don't give it too much thought. Main thing on my mind is whether I should cancel the new laptop given the old ones are fine, but I decide to be on the safe side as these people don't care about money and really care about their instructions being followed to the letter. At worst, the new one will go on top of the pile of extra hardware we keep around. Later that day, my boss comes to my desk with a little frown. I immediately think I probably should have canceled that new laptop after fixing the old ones. First boss, Bytewave, did the finance VP ask you to replace his laptops? Bytewave, yeah, he said he needed new stuff, but his old one's screen pins were glued in, but I figured to be on the safe side. First boss, sternly, exactly, old ones, plural. He has 3 laptops. So the next time a VP tells you to replace his stuff, if he has 3 laptops, don't order 1. Order 3. I'll have to handle it now. Bytewave, air. But I fixed the old. Okay, will do. That place was crazy as hell. But I swiftly learned to pay more attention to the letter of requests than to efficiency or common sense. Over there, it was the only way to keep your job. All of Bytewave's tales on TFTS.